Learning a new language is like exploring an unknown trail. It may seem intimidating, but every step reveals a new landscape. A good story is the map that gives us confidence on this journey. Today's narrative is about facing the unknown, and it is also your opportunity to improve your English in a natural and inspiring way. We are creatures of habit, programmed to seek the safety of the known path. The comfort of routine is our safe harbor. But what if that safe harbor is, in fact, our cage? This is the story of Sally, a talented designer who was afraid to cross bridges, both the literal ones of wood and steel, and the invisible ones in her own career. Sally was a master of her small universe. In Cold Spring, her name was synonymous with clean, reliable design for local brands. Her life, much like her work, was an exercise in control and safe repetition. Her daily routine included a walk through the same park, on the same paved paths, with the same familiar views. It was her sanctuary, her known territory. The opportunity to cross a bridge arrived in an email on a Tuesday morning. It was an offer she couldn't refuse, to create the complete visual identity for a new, sophisticated Persian fusion restaurant in Soho. A wave of euphoria surged through her spine. It was the kind of project that would validate her entire career. But that wave was closely followed by an icy current of pure panic. The unknown terrified her. The art, the calligraphy, the richness of a culture that was not her own. The fear of creating a cliché, of not doing justice to the heritage, or simply of not being good enough, began to scream louder than ambition. Her mind, an expert at finding escape routes, began to build a smart narrative. "I'm not the right person," she told herself. It would be irresponsible to accept, and with the click of a mouse, she began to draft the email to decline the opportunity of a lifetime, choosing the safety of the park over the unknown view from the mountaintop. But there was someone who knew how to read between the lines of Sally's calmness. Her friend, Nadia, a photographer with an eye trained to see what hides in the shadows, noticed the subtle anxiety in her shoulders. She knew that pattern well. Whenever a challenge arose, Sally's park routine would become more rigid. Her safe harbor would become a fortress. That evening, at a coffee shop, Sally told her, "It's an incredible opportunity, but I turned it down," Sally said, trying to sound pragmatic. "I'm not the right person, Nadia. The cultural responsibility is huge. It's safer for everyone if they find an expert." Nadia heard the fear disguised as logic and knew that arguing would be useless. Instead of debating Sally's decision, she offered a different challenge, a physical one. "All right," Nadia said, with a gentle smile. "Tomorrow, let's forget the project. But on one condition, we forget your park, too. We're finally going to hike that mountain trail I told you about." Sally, too tired to argue, agreed, not knowing she had just accepted an invitation to confront her fear in a much more literal way. The mountain trail was the opposite of the park. The path was made of dirt and rocks, uneven and steep. Every step required attention. Every climb tested her muscles in a way the paved path of her routine never did. It was unpredictable and uncomfortable. And then, they reached an obstacle that personified all of Sally's dread, a wooden suspension bridge that swayed gently over a rocky creek. And Sally froze. The same fear that made her turn down the project, the same vertigo in the face of the unknown, now pinned her to the ground, her heart hammering in her chest. Nadia saw the panic in her eyes. She didn't push her, but she moved closer and, in a calm voice, verbalized the lesson that was happening right there. "Your career is this trail now, Sally. The park is safe, but the view never changes. The summit is on the other side of bridges like this. You just need to take one step at a time, even if you're afraid. Taking a deep breath, with her eyes fixed on the solid ground on the other side, Sally took the first step. And then another. She crossed the bridge with her heart in her throat, without looking down, and when her feet touched the ground on the other side, a wave of relief and empowerment flooded her, stronger than any compliment she had ever received. Overcoming that physical, irrational fear opened a crack in her wall of professional fear. She didn't need to be fearless, she just needed to keep walking. After overcoming other small challenges on the trail, they finally reached the mountain summit. The view was the reward. A breathtaking panorama opened up before them, a sea of peaks and valleys under an infinite sky. The beauty of the landscape made all the effort, all the fear, and all the hardship of the journey worthwhile. And looking out at that horizon, Sally said aloud the words that confirmed her epiphany. The view made every difficulty worth it. The energy of that revelation accompanied her on the way down the mountain. As soon as she walked through her front door, before even taking off her hiking boots, Sally picked up the phone. In a voice that no longer trembled, a voice that had found its footing on the solid ground across the bridge, she called the client and accepted the project. The fear of the unknown had transformed into curiosity. Sally immersed herself in Persian art, poetry, and history, not with the dread of making a mistake, but with the enthusiasm of an explorer. The final design she created was a brilliant fusion, a conversation between her Western minimalism and the richness of Persian aesthetics. It became the most acclaimed work of her career, not in spite of its difficulty, but precisely because of it. It had been a bridge between her art and a culture that she finally had the courage to explore. Sally's journey, from the safe park to the mountaintop, teaches us a fundamental truth about growth. Our greatest fears often mark the entrance to our greatest learnings. The comfort zone is a pleasant place, but the view from there never changes. The bridges we most fear crossing are, invariably, the ones that lead us to the most spectacular landscape. Her story is an invitation to look at the map of our own lives and ask, what unknown trail are we avoiding, preferring the safety of the paved path? And what bridge, what project, what conversation, what difficult decision is right in front of us, challenging us to have the courage to cross? If this story about the courage to cross our internal bridges resonated with you, leave a comment below. Like and share this video, so this message can find others who are paralyzed before their own fears. And don't forget to subscribe for more journeys that teach us to explore the world and ourselves. Until next time, face your fear, and take the first step across the bridge.